Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back at the Reverb Outpost. I have decided today to take a short break from the power station build, just so I can make sure we've got enough time to let everybody watch the episode and submit those ideas that I was asking for in the last episode. Just want to make sure all of those ideas come in, because I've got a couple of really cool ones, one that I'm heavily considering and thinking about how I can make this happen. But we're going to take a break from that for today and start working on this right here, this little pin of villagers. We've had these guys sitting here for probably 4, 5, 6 episodes now, something like that. So not too long. We got the name tag from the librarian. That's the reason we set this up in the first place. But it was also to, kind of pave the way for the project we're going to be working on in this episode, which is going to be our villager breeder, so that we can get enough villagers for a villager trading station sometime down the road. Not sure when we're going to build that or where we're going to build that, but this is going to be the start of that build by making a villager breeder. So let's get going with our project for today. Actually, guys, before we get started in our project, let's take a look at the testing world here. Some of you guys have seen this before. Many of you probably haven't, and I'll explain why we're here in just a few moments. But you can see we've got everything that at least every major build that we've ever built in our YouTube series, whether that be Season 1 of the single player Let's Play, or Unity, or Season 2, which is over this direction. Just the memories of flying through here. All of these subscriber houses from Season 1, plus the subscriber monument from, I think it was 100 subscribers that we built that, or maybe it was 500. I can't remember at this point, but yeah, over here, this is kind of the peek behind the curtains. Look, we've got our little fueling station test build that we did before we built it in the actual base. Some stuff that we haven't done yet, but ideas for the future, including this massive nether portal. I still don't know where I'm going to put this, but I want to do something like this at some point. And then check this out. This is like a mock-up of the starter snow cave that we did early in the season. We visit there every once in a while on camera, but I'm there quite frequently throughout my planning and resource gathering and all of that. And then we've got the sheep farm that we built recently, and then some subscriber barracks stuff. All sorts of different builds. Oh yeah, and look at this, the power station. This is where I built the testing version of this build. And something I wanted to show you guys. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know what's coming, because you've seen a picture of it. I've been having conversations about this for a while. But check it out. Let's take a look at this cobblestone texture, because this might be one of the last few times that you see it. And that might be a shock to you, but check it out. Look what I'm thinking about. This right here. I am thinking about going a completely different direction from what we've been doing the entire series so far. This is episode 35, and we've had that trusty cobblestone texture for the duration of this series, and I love the way that it looks. But there are a few reasons why I am not just considering, but pretty much have decided to go in the direction of swapping it all out. And it won't take as long as, as we think it's going to take. There's a lot of it around, but it's not like the entire structure is built out of the stuff. It's just like the doorways and a few like structural support kind of things. But I'll explain throughout this video kind of my reasoning for this, but let me just sum it up very briefly why I'm thinking about doing this and actually have made the decision that I'm gonna do this. It's for the greater expanse of the world itself. I've talked about several times beyond Reverb Outpost, beyond this series itself, I want to be able to continue building in this world, and if we continue using that cobblestone texture, it's going to severely limit our ability to do that. And I don't know that I want to reset the world once we want to move on to a new location or move on to a new season of something, because, the time on this particular base is limited. Now, there's plenty of stuff left to do. I'm not thinking about wrapping the building process on Reverb Outpost anytime soon. Oh, I just love this effect. We're going to do that sometime. But there's going to come a time where this world is... not this world, but this base is complete, where there's nothing else we can or want to do to this base, and we'll call it a day. And I don't want to have to just say the world's done. So that's kind of the main reason why we're thinking about doing this. The other reason is the direction that I've gone with like my build style is much more sleek and high tech and sci-fi. And I feel like using stained glass is a good option for swapping out the cobblestone texture, which was meant to be more like industrial. And that's kind of a build style that we're getting away from. And I think it'll be a nice transition into something new for this base. So let me know what you think about this in the comments section. I know it's a bit of a shock, but we'll talk a little bit more about it as we're working on our project for today. All right, so we are back in our survival series world, and we're just going to dig out a little bit of space inside this mountain because I'm thinking we'll put the villager breeder itself in the mountain, and we are not too far away from the actual Reverb Outpost base. It's just across the little frozen river. It's pretty easy to get to, but we may end up doing like a rail system out here at some point, or maybe a nether portal, or maybe both. We'll see. We'll see what this build turns into in the future. But now that we're back into our survival world, let's keep talking a little bit about these changes. I want to be very clear with you guys because this might come as a shock to most of you who haven't seen the explanations and stuff that I've given on Twitter, because not everybody that subscribes to me here uses Twitter. This is something that I have been thinking about for a long time. And I just haven't said anything to anybody yet. I started thinking about this potential switch, not necessarily to the stained glass, but trying to figure out a solution to keep this world going after Reverb Outpost is done. I've been thinking about this since episode 23, which was released back on January 14th of this year. So we're coming up on 2 months. I've just been mulling over this decision for 2 months, and it's time to pull the trigger. It's time to figure out a solution, and this is the solution that I've come up with so that we can keep this world going beyond this particular base area. And it was in the episode 23 was the jungle exploration video, and I really started thinking about it because I looked at the jungle temple and I said, I hate my cobblestone texture outside of the context of Reverb Outpost. I love it there, but everywhere else in the world, I can't stand it. It just doesn't work. So that's kind of what got me thinking about how am I going to keep this world going after this base is done. So that's it for that. I'm going to keep digging here, and we'll keep talking about this subject throughout this video, give a little bit more explanation as we go. All right, so into the build a little bit here. This is where we're going to start working on the actual farming platform where the villagers are going to breed. So it's going to be a 5x5 section here, and this was actually a design that I found by a YouTuber. It's another small YouTuber, kind of around the same size of channel as me, named Silent Whisperer. And he's got some really great videos. I've watched a couple of them that are like technical explanations of some things. And this one was a design that I'm like, yeah, this is going to work. And I'm not sure that we're going to use every element of his design. There's one aspect of it that, in particular, that uses a nether portal. And I haven't decided whether we're going to use the nether portal in our villager breeder or not. We're not going to do it today. I still want to think about that, because if we leave this thing running, the problem is this it can easily overflow. Once you send a baby villager into the nether, it unloads from the overworld and releases that villager cap so that it can keep breeding and breeding and breeding. And once you send enough of them through the nether, you could potentially overload your nether and freeze it up, lock up the game, and crash it, and all of that kind of stuff. There are solutions to how we can turn the farm itself off, but if we ever forget how to, or not forget how to do that, but forget to do that, then there's a potential we could overload the nether, and we don't want to do that. So I'm still thinking that through. 5x5 platform with a little trench around the side. That's the basic design to get it going. And I'm going to keep working on this for a few minutes, and we'll come back and do a little bit more together in just a moment. Comment question of the day. Are you a dog or cat person? From Endboy Supreme. I love when I get a non-Minecraft related question that I'm able to answer. Now, there's some that I'm not going to answer, like, "Hey, what's your home address?" And I don't think anybody's ever been that specific, but you know what I mean. There are some personal questions that just don't ever get answered. But this one, I do like this question. I am a dog person. 100% and totally. And to say that I do not like cats is a complete understatement, and I hope that doesn't offend any of you. The biggest reason that I am not a fan of cats is because I'm highly allergic to them. For some reason, I'm totally fine with dogs, but when it comes to cats, they just make my eyes itch and water, and my throat kind of swell up, and my nose is just all runny and cloggy, and it's like, I don't even have to touch the cat. All I got to do is be in the same room that a cat was in at one point in time, and it totally just messes me up. So cats, not a huge fan. Dogs, on the other hand, they don't bother me at all. And I feel like dogs in general are just more playful and friendly than cats are, just in my personal experience from being around dogs or cats at various points in my life. I do have a dog right now. I used to have two, but I've got one dog right now, and we've had him for... How long has it been? It's been like 6 years. He's 6 years old. That's pretty crazy. We've had our dog for 6 years. He's a great dog. He's a pit bull shepherd mixture, conglomerate of a bunch of other things as well. We rescued our puppy when he was a puppy, and we've had him his entire life, and we love our dog. He's a great, great dog. He loves both of our kids and just watches out over them and plays with them, and, you know, once in a while tries to steal their food, and so we've got to get on him for that and all of that, but... I love dogs. Dogs are great. Cats, not so much, in my opinion. I'll take a cat on Minecraft once in a while because they keep the creepers away. But yeah, in real life, totally a dog person. All right, so we've got the basic layout of our villager breeder here. Let me show you what we got going on. We're going to go back here and drop some water right there. And it's basically going to flow down into the corners. Oh, and I forgot. Yep, we got to dig these out. So we got to dig it down one. Let me do that off camera real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got everything dug out correctly now, I believe. And basically, you just put the water back in the corner right here, and once it reaches the flow limit, it'll drop down one more, and it'll send all of the villagers, or blocks, since we've got blocks in there right now, into that corner. Perfect. So each side of the stream meets up right back here where it's supposed to. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to dig out another little tunnel here to send our baby villagers into this area to temporarily hold them. I'm not sure where we're going to send them just yet, so they're just going to stay here. And yes, we will reach the villager cap limit in this farm. We've only got 6 doors powering it, so however many villagers 6 doors allows to spawn, that's how many we're going to get for the time being. And eventually we'll send them elsewhere, so they're outside of village detection range, so we can get, you know, enough villagers to power a pretty significantly large villager trading hall. We don't want anything tiny. We don't want like 4 or 5 villagers in there. We want enough to do some trades with, have a variety of villagers, maybe have a mending villager, maybe have a frostwalker villager. If we can find like an unbreaking 3 villager or efficiency 5, that would be amazing. So that's kind of the point of this whole project, is to get villagers that will give us the trades that we are looking for. Okay, so now we are on to putting some lights above our farmland, and that's so that the crops can grow, because we are underground. We are in a space where crops would not grow naturally, so they need some sort of simulated light, hence the glowstone. And basically the crops are what powers the farm. You've got to have 1 brown coat villager in here at least. 2 villagers maximum is really all you need in this area, so you don't really want to crowd this place with too many villagers. You just want 2. 2 up top and then 1 down below where the doors are, and we'll show you what that all looks like when we get to bring in the villagers into this place. And then this wall that I'm putting into place right now is to block the adult villagers from jumping down into the water stream below. So only baby villagers will fit down there because we don't want them to, you know, empty this place out. We don't want our breeding villagers to leave. We want them to stay here and keep breeding more baby villagers so that we can get more villagers for our trading hall down the road. That's looking pretty good. All right, so I've made all of the dirt into farmland, and we're gonna start planting our potatoes. I've put a water source block in the middle. I didn't think I had to, but there were 2 corner blocks for some reason that were not saturating with water, which I don't know if that would affect the efficiency of the farm, if those would convert back into standard dirt blocks or not. So I went ahead and put a water source block in the middle. I'd rather sacrifice 1 block than to accidentally break the farm or something like that. So now it's time to put down some rails. We're going to transport our villagers in here and get them all situated so we can get this thing up and running. Okay, all of our rails are powered. We've got our first villager secured in the minecart, and time to push him into his permanent home where he's going to do lots of farming for us. We're not going to, yield any crops from this. We're just going to get some baby villagers from it. Maybe eventually we'll build an automatic wheat farm or something like that. But for now, go on in. Enjoy your new digs. No pun intended, because you're going to be doing a lot of digging. A lot of potato digging in here. Welcome home, buddy. Third and final villager is in place for this system to be working. He's the one that does the magic. These doors, I'll show you in a little bit, but they've got sky access. You can see there's glass above this villager's head that leads all the way up to the top of the mountain. It's just been dug out 3 wide so that the doors are exposed to the sky. Otherwise, it won't recognize it as a village. And again, I'll show you where that's located here in just a few moments. But let's get rid of all these rails, and then we'll give this thing a test run. Just need to break these mine carts so that these 2 villagers can breed properly. I think those potatoes are in the way. How am I going to do this? Because I don't want to break this glass. Because if I do, there's a chance they might fall... Oh. There's a chance they might fall into the stream. Where did you come from? And where are you going? I'll be right back. You guys don't move. Not like you can. You're in mine carts. Oh! Our librarian almost escaped. I forgot to close this part off as well. When I was digging down here to find where I placed the doors so I could run the rails, I forgot to shut him in there. We almost just broke our farm unintentionally. Whew, we should be good now. Okay, back to the top. All right, so I broke a couple of potatoes so we could reach the mine carts, which is no big deal because the farmer will replant these here in a moment, and he already has. There we go. So he's doing his job, which is great, and they can start passing potatoes back and forth, and hopefully we won't have to wait too long for these villagers to start breeding some baby villagers. And we'll just kind of hang out here for a second, and hopefully we'll see some things happening here soon. Oh, I think this is it. Yep, there's the love hearts. We'll close it up so the baby villagers don't accidentally escape. And... where are you? Oh, hi. I've made a bit of a boo-boo here. Hello, baby villagers. We've already got a couple. The problem is... it was just a total fluke that they happened to fall down here. I'm supposed to put trap doors. And if I put trap doors down, they interfere with the water stream. And which means the water stream does not flow to the export area where they're going to be sent to go to our villager trading hall, or if we don't want to keep them, off to the happy villager village in the sky. So we're having to dig down the trench, another whole set of blocks, and it's just a little bit of a tedious process here. I've messed it up. We've got to get some more snow. But we'll get this all fixed up, and we should be good to go here in just a minute. And... down you go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. This thing is working. We are up and running, and our villagers are breeding happily. The baby villagers are going into the trench where they should go, and we'll be able to transport them off to a future home sometime down the road. All right, so we're running out of the mountain, and we're going to climb up here really quick because I want to show you where the sky access is for the set of doors down below the actual farm where the magic happens, and it should be up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, right here. So this is a 3x1 hole all the way down below the farm, and if we close it off like this, if we take away the access to the sky, it deactivates the village and it deactivates the farm from producing villagers. And then we can open it back up and then we'll resync the village and reactivate the breeder. So at some point we may end up doing what we did with the beacon and wiring up some pistons to put some blocks over this to deactivate it when we don't want to use it. But we'll do that in a future episode. I wasn't originally thinking we would do this today, but I've got some extra time. So, say goodbye. Say goodbye to our cobblestone walls. We're going to start replacing this stuff, and I'm hoping that it won't take too long. I'm not going to do very much in this episode, but I do want to go ahead and put down at least this door here so you can see what it looks like in the actual survival world. We've seen it in the testing world, but I want to check it out here just to see what it looks like, and then I'll probably, in between episodes, go ahead and convert the rest of the base. I want to get this done quickly. I don't want it to linger. I want to go ahead and take care of this so we can move on. So it won't be part of an episode necessarily that we do the conversion. I'm just going to do it. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to make it happen. And we'll move forward from here. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Even before putting in like the randomized snow blocks to make it look kind of like a cave entrance. It already looks really, really good. And I'm really happy that I've made this decision, not just for the sake of the future of this world, but I really do like the stained glass panes. These were not existent in the game when I started playing this series. I knew they were coming, but I had no ability to practice with them or do any kind of test design. We basically just had to use what we had at our access at that point, and the cobblestone walls were my go-to. And I didn't like the cobblestone texture for this base, but I did like the custom one that I made. But now that we do have stained glass panes, I love the look of this. It's very sleek, it's very sci-fi, it's very futuristic. That's what we're going for. So, decision made. We're going to convert the entire base. We're going to get rid of the cobblestone texture and revert it back to the original so we can use it in other parts of the world. Last couple of things that we need to do today. We need to add somebody else to the subscriber barracks in the Purple Squadron, and today we are adding Douglas, if I pronounce that correctly. Douglas Dose. Have no idea if I said that correctly, but welcome to the Reverb Outpost subscriber barracks. Enjoy your stay. And last but not least, we need to go ahead and add 4 new patrons to the Patreon armory today. We're going to start out by placing down our armor stand and the traditional protective gear of a Reverb Outpost soldier, and we'll pose it up correctly. Here we go. And the first person we're going to add today is Jessica 84. And the next person we are going to add today, after we pose up this set of armor, is going to be Country 2303. And our third patron we are adding today is Samwise 31. There we go. And last but not least, we have Cosmic Pegasus. And there we go. Number 34. Thank you all 4 of you, so much for your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you supporting me through Patreon. I cannot thank you enough. It means so much to me that you would choose to do this. And we're going to go ahead and throw down another armor stand over here just for symmetry purposes, but also to encourage you. This could be you. Your name could be added to the armory next. Be sure to go check out my Patreon page to consider supporting the channel. Thank you all so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time that I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed this build. It was nice to get away from the standard building for just a little bit to do something a little bit more technical. There wasn't like redstone or anything involved with that, but this is technically, technical Minecraft kind of building. and I really enjoyed that, so I hope you guys did too. This is going to serve a much greater purpose down the road when we've got a trading hall all set up, and I've got a really cool idea for that in mind on how that's going to incorporate into the lore of the base and how it'll fit in and all of that kind of stuff. So be looking out for that sometime in the near future. Got a lot of really cool ideas coming up for this world. Again, the change today that we made with the cobblestone, switching to the stained glass, is going to serve a very big purpose in continuing this world beyond just this series. So let me know what you guys think of that. I hope you guys are okay with the change. Hope you like it. I know there was some resistance to the cobblestone in the very beginning of this series, which I wanted to give it a try, and I gave it its fair chance. I gave it 35 episodes, and now it is time to go in a different direction so we can do something even bigger, even better beyond just one location in this world. This is going to be a world filled with bases, filled with villages or cities or whatever we decide to do in the future. The world is open to us at this point. We can do anything. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.